The top-end luxury SUV for Lexus is this Lexus LX 600 Ultra Luxury. If you're looking for a Lexus SUV you can pamper yourself in, this is the one. In this review, we're going to take a full detailed look at the exterior, the interior, and get it out on the road for a test drive. Now I'm going to show you everything that you get. Let's get started. Now before we go any further, I got to show you the back seat because this is where you get to live and sit like an executive. Let me show you just a couple quick things and then we'll dive right into this back seat. I hope you can still see me. You can just push a button and this will recline and make it super comfortable. And then there's a footrest down here, a little ottoman. You can kick your feet up and really sit executive style. Now that's nice. Now climbing into the back seat, you're gonna get a mix of soft materials back here. You've got these window shades on both sides, which is nice. Storage down there. But the best part is on the passenger side. Now sitting behind myself at 5'9", I really don't actually have a ton of space right here. But the good news is you can move these seats forward and backwards, and you have memory settings for both sides of the seat. There's a ton of stuff to go over here, and we have these entertainment systems in front of us. But the best part is over there, so let me show you. As you saw over here, the best part is because of the ability to move that seat, really recline this, and use a footrest. If any of you have mobility issues, the second row has a grab handle on both sides as well. Another thing that I really like is the second row has like a stadium seating style, so you sit up higher, so one, you can see better, and two, less possibility of getting motion sickness. This display system right here is standard, and now for 2023, you actually get a screen cover standard as well. But aside from that, we've got a ton of stuff right here. First of all, you've got air conditioning vents right there. You've got several charging ports down there, and a storage area down there as well, and you can cover all of that up. We also have these cup holders right here that can be covered up, easy to access. You've got nice soft materials back here. You've got a wireless charging mat, and this is the only wireless charging mat. There's not actually one up front. And then each side can open this up, and there's even more in here, including USB ports, headphone jack, 12-volt power outlet, pretty much everything, and a really deep storage bin. But take a look at this. There is so much you can do. Look at all of these adjustments. You can one touch move your seat up, one touch recline your seat. You can move that seat, the front seat. You can move your seat up and down, back and forth, recline, and check it out. You've got, let me kind of go through this here. You've got a lamp right here. We've got these overhead lamps, so it's literally just like you're in an airplane. Got this reading lamp right up overhead. That's pretty cool. The relaxation button, this is where you get your massage. You've got all these different massages right here, and you can adjust the level. So you can have massage on both seats back here and be reclined and kicking it nice and easy. The seat controls are that one that we saw earlier, and you have memory settings. You've got your own climate controls in here, heated and ventilated seats, and check this out. Not only do you have the vents down there, you also have a vent overhead, but when you're reclined, you have a vent right there that you can open and close so you can stay completely comfortable back here. And then of course, you can control the audio back here as well. You can listen through your headphones, you can listen through all the speakers, control it, go to whatever you want, and you can even tilt the display of your screen. So check that out. You can move it to your liking, get it out of the way. If that seat is forward and you want the screen down, you can have the screen down. And these seats have a 48-degree recline. If you think about 90 degrees, so you've got here to here, a 90-degree angle, you can go more than halfway back reclined. It is really nice. Now, I sat back here for a little bit when I was filming, when I've been filming here, and I just wanted to stay back here. Heat, you've got some nice, comfortable heat coming out of here as well. You've got heat all around you, and the massaging function of the seat, this is executive style. Now taking a look at the exterior, this LX is still body on frame, rugged construction. It's just a new platform for this generation. And this is the Ultra Luxury, which is the top end model. Right up front, you're gonna get a huge grille, the premium triple beam LED headlights on all models, including headlight washers. I have a night video showing these off. They have cornering lamps and they do a very nice job, so be sure to check that out. And this LX is dressed in the manganese luster paint. I had no idea what color that was gonna be, but this is what it is. And you're gonna get up to 22-inch wheels, which are massive. The overall size of this LX is just over 200 inches, so it is not nearly as big as some other large three-row or luxury SUVs. Ground clearance is just only up to 8.3 inches, so not that great for being off-road capable, but it does have an adaptive variable suspension that can move up and down on all models except the base and the F Sport. And then in the back, we've got the same kind of upright design like we had with the LX before, but I think it's a much cleaner design with this LED blade tail lamp design. Now, cargo space is definitely still important for this LX, and it's a big vehicle, and Lexus gives us this hands-free option on every trim except the base model. Now, taking a look at the cargo area back here, it is going to be different than it is on most of the other trims because we only have a 2-row configuration, and there's a good amount of space back here. You can see this really swallows up just a standard size backpack or carry-on suitcase like that. So you got a tonneau cover up here as well. We've got this cargo light, a little cargo net hook. We've got a 120-volt outlet back here and several little tie downs. The only thing I would say is missing is like a good grocery bag hook. And then keep in mind, the second row is not designed to fold down or anything like that. So there's a little bit of space behind the second row in between that divider where you could throw a couple little items, but you can't fold it down and get a ton of space like you can with the other LX models. Now, Lexus gives us the Smart Key system standard. It's just like other Lexus models. It feels nice, it's slim. It does have remote start, but the remote start is flat out terrible. You can also start it with the app. So it's just like other models. You've got this button here to lock it, power folding mirrors. You can unlock it with the sensor there, and you can even do it on the back doors as well, which you cannot on the Toyota Sequoia top trim. Another thing about these front doors is you have this automatic soft close function so you don't slam it. Another nice thing is that this has the adjustable suspension up and down, so you can have it automatically lower, you can raise it up. Let me show you. Okay, so right now we're in the lowest position. Just a push of a button, you can go to the normal position. Now we're in the normal position. It actually moves fairly quick, and then another push. Now we're in high position number 1. And now we're in high position number 2. Now you're ready to go off-road. Now, the front seat of this Ultra Luxury LX is honestly where I think the biggest disappointment is with this model. Now, granted, these are semi-aniline leather seats. These are premium leather seats. They look very nice. I mean, look at this quilting on here, the stitching on here. It looks great, and it is a comfortable seat with a nice plush leather. But in terms of adjustments, now when you look at vehicles over $100,000, you're gonna get more than this. You do get 4-way lumbar support and you get thigh extension, but you don't get the bolster adjustment, you don't get the differential adjustment of like this part of the lumbar, the upper part of the lumbar, or the upper back. The headrest doesn't even move forward and backwards, so you're missing out on some things, and they are not massaging. You will get memory settings on the door though with an entry-exit system. And Lexus has Climate Concierge, so you can have the heated steering wheel, heated and ventilated seats on automatic mode, to where depending on the temperature you have set and the ambient temperature, it will automatically control heated seats, heated steering wheel between the different levels. So that is nice. The steering wheel is power tilt and telescoping, and it will move with your memory settings as well. We have this open pore wood on here. It actually feels really nice. I'm usually not a fan of wood on a steering wheel, but this is so smooth and it feels so nice, and it's not the entire wheel. You have leather wrapped around that, so that is nice. The leather portion is heated, and now for 2023, a heated steering wheel is standard on every single trim. Now, granted, I'm a little hard on these seats, no massaging function, not the plethora of adjustments that you see in other vehicles, but they're still comfortable. I like them, I've been good, and I wouldn't complain about them. I just wish you had the same treatment you get in the back seat. Now, the interior of the LX is a nice place to be. You've got nice materials all over and new modern tech compared to the last generation. Now, over on the door, one thing I want to talk about, this is a 2022 model, but on 2023 models, you'll actually get a new type of wood on the Ultra Luxury, Takanoa, if I'm saying that right, type of wood. But this is still nice. You've got the soft materials here, soft up there, all around the armrest. Down here is not the same soft material you get on other models or on other luxury vehicles. It's the same kind of cheap plastic, which is very surprising to me. And this cheap piano black right here. In this $128,000 model, I'd expect something a little different. The storage space is kind of small down here, but you can fit some bottles right there. Just to the left, Lexus gives you an option to turn off the auto stop start, a little storage area. You can access your camera and your trip computer right there. Getting in isn't bad because you've got an assist grip on both sides. I talked about the steering wheel being heated and leather wrapped with some wood. You've got paddle shifters on here, and just like other Lexuses, you have the very nice finishing material on all these steering wheel buttons. Right in front of us, we get this display. It's nothing too extravagant, and it honestly doesn't look that much different than what previous Lexus models had. It's just a small portion, so you do get some analog and some digital on here. And you know, I was expecting maybe something a little bit more of a wow factor. Right up overhead, you'll get a head-up display on nearly every trim as well, and it shows a bunch of information and it's very clear. Now moving over, Lexus completely redid everything over here. We've got a 12.3-inch touchscreen. There's no command controller or touch pad or anything like that. Push button start is right there. Your volume knob is right here. And the screen is large enough and the layout works good enough that it's easy to use and operate without me complaining too much about missing some physical buttons. So all the controls have their own little dedicated spot. We do have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and it takes up the whole screen and looks very nice. Just down from there, we've got another little control screen right here. So this is interesting. You can see different information on here. You can control the climate on here with its own screen like that. Vehicle specific information. You can see where the wheels are going. You can see what height you're set at. All of that good stuff. You can quickly adjust the fan speed there. And then you have actual climate controls down here. So you do still get physical buttons, but more piano black. Not my favorite in this type of a vehicle, but hey, it's still, at least you have some physical buttons in here. And then more of your off-road and drive mode controls down here. So with our drive modes, push the drive mode button and then you turn this knob, and then you've got all these different drive modes right here, and we'll go through these in the test drive. Push the MTS button, multi-terrain select, and you've got auto. You can go to different ones like this. So just like you've seen in some other Lexus models or Toyota models, it's nice that you still have that on here. Plus, you can see the flashing indicator down there. We have downhill assist control and even crawl control. So I'm so glad that we actually do get crawl control in here. Some of the, you know, off-road controls that you've become accustomed to with Lexus and Toyota. And then on this right side, you even have a 4-low gearing. This is full-time 4-wheel drive, but you can still turn down into a 4-low. Down from there, we've got a 12-volt power outlet, all your heated and ventilated controls for you and your passenger. A little storage area right there. That's not actually a wireless charging mat. I really thought it would be, because the wireless charging mat is just in the back seat. You've got another mat right here. So one of these should be a wireless charging mat for the driver. I really can't believe that it is not. Another thing about up here that I want to show you quick is go into reverse. We've got this panoramic view monitor. You can see next to the wheels really well. If you push the camera button, you can see different views as well. Like this top-down view, you can go under the vehicle with this multi-terrain camera. If you're off-roading, this is really crucial and really awesome. Down here, we've got more of this open pore wood and this kind of aluminum trim. So I like this open pore wood. This feels and looks very nice. Electronic parking brake, brake hold, a center locking differential, traction control, and your buttons to control your suspension are right there. The cup holders are decent size and in a good spot as well. And this center armrest is very soft right here. You can pop it up and open it that way, or you can pop it up and open it that way, or someone in the back can even open it as well to have easy access. And there's room for cables to go underneath of here so they don't get pinched and you can plug in. You got this sliding tray right here, because underneath of there we have our cool box. So this is legit a refrigerated area to keep your drinks cold. On the other side, there's a couple more USB plug-ins right there. Lexus has a locking, soft opening glove box. Right up overhead, we've got this digital rearview mirror or an automatic dimming rearview mirror, but that is crystal clear. Up here, we have a large sunglass holder. You've got more lighting right here. There's a little bit of ambient lighting in here that I'll talk about in a little bit, but you've got LED lighting. And we just have a normal size moonroof in here because we have different controls back there for the rear passenger. So would you rather have a panoramic roof or just a regular roof like this? And thankfully, Lexus gives us, instead of the little pull-out tray, the entire visor will slide. Now under the hood is where things are quite a bit different for this generation of the LX. We're used to the LX and the GX having that V8, fairly strong, very reliable, and good enough for a big luxury SUV, but this one, completely different. In here we get Lexus's direct and port injected 3.5 liter twin turbocharged V6 with 409 horsepower and 479 pound-feet of torque, paired with the 10-speed automatic. It is full-time 4-wheel drive with a center locking differential, and it can still scoot 0 to 60 in under 7 seconds. Miles per gallon is 19 combined, so better than before, but still not great, and maximum towing will be at 8,000 pounds. So you can still have the luxury, the power, and the towing capability for your all-around encompassing type of vehicle. All right, y'all, we're now behind the wheel of this LX 600 Ultra Luxury, and I drove the LX F Sport handling before, which has a more, sporty based tuned suspension, and this one has this adaptive variable suspension. It's definitely plush. Even with these big wheels, Lexus has done a great job of making this feel smooth and comfortable. Now, right off the bat, big difference between previous gen LX and this LX is going to be the turbo. So the turbo power, or the turbo torque, comes out very quickly and very early. You don't have that buildup of power like you do with the naturally aspirated V8, but this still has good power along with its great torque. I think a lot of you that are gonna buy this will like the way that it drives. You got this 10-speed transmission with it that is smooth most of the time, but there have been some times where it is not smooth, and it's very variable vehicle to vehicle. I don't really remember that with the F Sport model that I drove, so I think it might be a learning transmission and it'll smooth out as you drive it. But we're just in normal mode right now. We'll put it in sport mode in a little bit. Comfort mode, let me put us in comfort mode actually. So there are differences with the way that you feel, like especially when you get to Sport Plus. Right now, we have a nice, comfortable amount of steering play. The ride suspension is good. I mean, we can hit some big bumps or some little bumps, and you can hear and feel them, but this soaks it up very well. I mean, you really do kind of get this floating on the road feeling in this LX without it feeling like a boat. The ride height is also good. So we're in the normal height right here, but the visibility out of here, the high commanding ride height, is something that I think a lot of SUV drivers are gonna like. So I'm gonna put us in Sport Plus. So Sport to Sport Plus really kind of tightens things up when you get to the steering, the suspension. Sport mode is more powertrain oriented, but you can customize that and have your own custom mode and determine how everything feels for you. So sport mode, Sport Plus, is going to be punchier. And this is quick for a big, heavy vehicle. This is a very heavy vehicle. So going around these corners, you're gonna feel the weight. It's tall, it is heavy, but the suspension is variable and it can stiffen up and hold firm on that side going around this corner. So I mean, this is actually fairly impressive for a big, heavy vehicle like this. And it's responsive, it's holding the RPMs. Quick drop down, even for a 10-speed, something you gotta look for in vehicles with a lot of gears. I'm gonna go back to normal mode. This also has the Lexus Safety System 2.5 with lane keeping, lane centering. It doesn't take super sharp corners very well. You can see that, but the radar cruise works well. The blind spot monitoring, all of that. It's nice to have standard on every single LX. Road noise is also pretty good. This is quiet. You've got laminated glass here. You've got laminated glass up there. You get some powertrain noise, but not a ton, and there's hardly any wind noise at all, even in a big vehicle like this. It's definitely a nice, quiet ride. Ergonomics wise, I like having multiple screens to do certain things and physical buttons at the same time. Sometimes I do enjoy having a control knob down here to control the screen, but this is exclusively touchscreen. So compared to other luxury vehicles, it kind of depends what you want. Comfort wise, very comfortable. I like the seats, I like the materials, I like all the features to them as well. So to wrap things up on this Lexus LX 600 Ultra Luxury, the top trim, you get pretty much all the bells and whistles that Lexus has to offer. Now it is a lot. This is a very nice SUV, capable in terms of luxury and its off-road features and the typical Lexus design that you have seen. But does it offer everything that you would want at this $128,000 price point and this top-notch SUV? Some other top luxury SUVs like this certainly do offer some more, but it's still a really nice package overall. So let me know what you think of this LX 600 Ultra Luxury. Would you go for this or something else?